Good evening, grade 5s. I hope you are all enjoying your weekend. I'm just going to do a quick run through here of how to use this website called Notepad by Mathies. So when you click on the link, which I've sent to you already, it'll lead you to this screen. And see here that we have a variety of different backgrounds to choose from. We also have this. You can change the language if you want to. If you want to view it in French or if you want to view it in English. Okay, so I'm going to click on one of these, and here I come to my home screen where I will be drawing my shapes. Okay, so in the top right corner here we have settings, and you'll notice that this gives me the backgrounds, the ones that I was just looking at, and I can change it if I want to at any time to blank, grid, isometric, or line. We'll mostly be working with grid on the blank background for geometry, but later on we might be using the blank background and the line background. Okay, so I'm going to go to isometric background, and I can choose my color here. I want it green or purple. I'm going to leave it as white for right now. I can change my dot style. Clicking on this will make the dots bigger. See, that might be a bit confusing for what we're doing with geometry, so I'm going to leave them fairly small. And you can change the brightness too. We'll want to be able to see the dots a little bit, so maybe about 50% here. And you can change the color if you want. Notice how the yellow doesn't show up too much, so we could change the brightness of that. Or we could choose a darker color like green. I'm going to leave it at green for right now. Windowed gives you the option to view it as like a sheet of paper, and you can adjust how big that is by clicking on any one of these sides here. And you can also change the background of the sheet of paper. So let's say, yeah, that yellow looks kind of cool. And you can change the brightness. That looks a bit yucky, so maybe leave that about 50% as well. So these are the number of columns and rows that you will have on your sheet of paper. For squares only, it will always be 18 by 18, 18 columns and 18 rows. So we are going to just leave it at squares only for right now, because it's easier to work with. Okay, so moving over here to the toolbar, notice that we have our select tool, our draw tool, our erase tool, our line tool, lines and points, our shapes tool, the text box tool, and these are the color of the outline and the fill. So I'm going to begin with some two-dimensional shapes. So I'm going to be choosing the shapes tool. So let's start with a square. I'm going to do a nice big square here, and if you'll notice this fill, sorry, you can delete anything by clicking on the select tool and then pressing delete. So I'm going to click on this, and here's the fill and the line outline box that I was talking about. So we'll want that nice and thin. And this is the fill, or no, sorry, that's the opacity of the line. This is the fill here. So we can choose any color that we want here. Let's do something purple because that'll look different on our piece of paper. And I can change this color too. I'll change that to purple so we have a nice purple square on our sheet of paper. And you can do a variety of shapes. We will be looking at a lot of triangles. And if I click on select, I can adjust this triangle at any time by any of the points to create different kinds of triangles. And we will be talking more about that on Monday. I'm just going to show you guys a quick run through of some three-dimensional shapes. So I want to click on my lines and points tool here, and I am going to choose the line segment, and I'm going to try making a cube. So I'll start off doing, I'll start off by doing a square, because we know that a cube is made up of 6 equal squares. So I'll do my square. And I'm going to go back 3 here. Good thing about working with this lines tool, if ever at any time you want to adjust something, see my line's a bit crooked here, we can adjust it, we can adjust the length of it by hitting the select tool. So just going to adjust that a little bit so it looks more like a cube. And I'm going to finish my cube by drawing another one and linking it here. So one of the cool tricks that you can do with this, in order to make it to look more like a 3D shape, you can adjust the opacity for these lines that are inside the shape, just so that the viewer can tell that it's 3D. Oh, sorry, clicked on the wrong one there. Okay, now if we want to label these, we can using the pencil. So I can write cube here. Sorry, that's a bit messy, so I might want to erase it by using the eraser tool, and I'll say maybe I'll go with text instead. So I click on my text box and I'm going to type in cube just to give it a title, and let's say we want a nice purple for that background. And yeah, that green looks kind of cool there. And I can change this any way I want. So we'll be looking at this more. This will come in handy when we're doing bar graphs on here. So to avoid confusion, I'll put this at the top here. And I can add text here. And I'm going to say square. And I will add text right here as well. Oh, sorry, I'm having trouble spelling today. Okay, so now we have a nice sheet of paper, and this this is something we'll be using quite a bit in class. So we'll need to be able to label our drawings too and creations. Now, if ever at any point you want to start over, you just click on this box here, and this will reset it all to its current state. Okay, grade 4s, thanks for listening, If you have any more questions, we will go over it on Monday. I will see you then. Okay.